Hey guys, today I would like to talk about the difference between blind-friendly and accessible. The reason why I talk about this is because I often hear from many people that accessibility is mixed up with blindness or associated with blindness strongly. And on the one hand, this is correct because many aspects are most important for blind people. But on the other hand, it is very difficult because there are many other groups which have perhaps more problems as blind people, and are a much bigger group. That doesn't mean that we should ignore the smaller groups, but we should also consider the bigger groups like visually impaired. There's one big problem with blindness associations. They are, especially in Germany, very successful. They have much money in the federal ones, and of course they have to say why they exist. They are doing a lot of PR, public relations work, which they are doing very good. And they are also involved in very strongly, here in Germany, I say, they are involved very strongly into the lawmaking, considering accessibility. And that makes it possible that they have strong voice in this area more than visually impaired people or deaf people or people with motor or cognitive disabilities. And one thing I often see is that blind individuals say this or this may not be accessible or is not accessible. Uh, um, Sometimes people contact me and say my homepage, my website is not accessible. What may be the thing, I don't know, can be. Um, but yeah, what they really mean is that they personally, individually, don't game along with the website, which is okay. But does not say that this is not accessible. Accessible is not about the individual situation of the person, but it is about the structural problems of the web application, for example. Of course, there's a relation between blind-friendly and accessible. When a software or an application doesn't work for blind people, it is not. It of course has accessibility issues. It means you cannot say the software is accessible. Also, it does not work for blind people. And the other around, when a software works perfectly for blind people, that does not mean that the software is accessible to other people. That is a difficult misunderstanding, a dangerous misunderstanding, which should be avoided when you are working in the accessibility field. Let's see some examples. For blind people, the font size or the contrast. When they, of course, when they don't have any sight, the contrast or the font size or things like that, or the shapes of things doesn't matter, or the videos on the website doesn't matter in most cases. And for visually impaired, the things or all the things are very important. And this is one big difference. But there are also parallels. You can also, for example, say for neurodiverse, diverse people, it's different when a website is very complex, very distracting, with much content, blinking and flickering and things like that. As it also can be difficult for blind people, not because they can see the animation, but perhaps because things which are changing can put the screen reader focus on them that distracts the people from using the website properly. Or you have a lot of containers which are not important to you, but you're looking for the content of a website. That also can be difficult for blind persons. I think we should cooperate with the different disabilities. I don't know if this is a special German problem, maybe, but in Germany, every disabled group has its own disability group has its own foundation, and it seems that they are not cooperating very well. If you think you have around 8 million disabled persons in Germany, that means around 10% of the population, perhaps a little bit less, around, I don't know, 9%. And they are not very good in cooperating with each other. I think they don't hate each other, but the cooperation or the cross disability foundations are very weak, very small, and this makes it very difficult to lobby for digital or other accessibility aspects. And this is one big problem, I think. So that was it for the time. I hope you enjoyed the video cast and would be glad if you come back again next time. Goodbye.